the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. My name's Rich Tehrani, coming to you from San Jose, and on our program today is Rob Pilgrim, and he's the VP of Business and Corporate Development at Tropos Networks. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Rich.
Good to see you.
Thanks. Good to see you, too.
How's everything?
Well, doing well.
Good, good, good. You want to, for those people who may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about your company?
Sure. Tropos Networks, we've been around since 2000. Had product in the marketplace since 2003. We started off selling to municipalities, public safety, utilities at the municipality, and eventually moved into selling to service providers, and that was the day of Muni Wi-Fi that so many people were familiar with. Since then, we have focused on one specific vertical since about 2008, and that's the utilities vertical, specifically serving utilities by providing smart grid networking.
How'd you get in this smart grid space then? What led you to?
Well, really what started was we'd been working with municipalities since 2003. So originally they were using our networks for public safety, and so we had to develop a lot of mobility and security to handle that marketplace. Before long, most of the municipalities started sharing that network with different departments, which included the utilities. As we started working with the carriers, though, we had to really beef up scalability, manageability, and those two things together caught the interest of some of the bigger utilities. And with the development of the smart grid and the interest around the smart grid, the ARA funding over the last couple of years from the government, our product to market fit with the utilities just clicked, and the utilities started giving us a call, and we were able to put together solutions that met their market need.
That's great. So can you give me a little bit more on the kinds of solutions that you've been supplying the utilities?
Sure. We provide what we call a distribution area network, and what that is it's a wireless network that provides connectivity throughout the utilities territory for different kinds of applications. I think a lot of people are familiar with smart metering and demand response as two of the big programs that a lot of utilities across the country are doing.
Right.
But it turns out that the smart grid's a lot more than just metering and demand response.
Sure.
It's about modernizing the utilities operations, distribution automation, modernizing their workforce, and being able to put information into the hands of the people in the field.
Sure.
To improve customer service. So the utilities are looking for platforms that allow them to provide those applications, provide the communications from those distributed endpoints throughout their territory back to their centralized locations for customer service and management.
Okay, so I could see why that would be important. What about in the future? What kinds of things is your company going to be doing?
So we're continuing to work in the utility space, obviously, building partnerships with different market leaders like Itron and ABB, and working with them to develop solutions in the marketplace that meet not only the problems that the utilities are facing now, but also starting to work with them on future problems. Working with some of the innovative startups around PHEV integration, being able to allow the communication from those endpoints back into the central location. Also working with other application providers just to provide more visibility throughout the utilities territory to help them optimize their business.
So we recently went through a heat wave just about a week ago in the Northeast, and we saw a whole bunch of blackouts. And I'm curious, from where you sit, do you have any sense when our national grid will get to a point where it'll be beefed up enough to, I know it's a general question, you can't answer specifically, but what is your sense on just the timing of smart grid becoming reality?
Well, I think that certain elements of the smart grid are a reality now. There definitely are utilities across the country deploying smart metering and some demand response, especially for commercial and industrial customers. And that's really where you get your biggest bang for your buck,
Sure.
frankly. But deploying technologies like distribution automation to allow the utility to switch the different sources so that if one given area of the distribution grid is getting overloaded, they can actually shift some of that load to a different substation on the fly in real time. And that's some of the vision that I think is going to happen, but it's going to take a couple of years. We're probably looking at, within the next 10 years, those types of technologies being deployed widely throughout some very large territories to allow the utility, one, to be more efficient and actually reduce the number of outages they have within their territory, both in the summer as well as in the winter.
Oh, that's very exciting. It's good news. Really, really good news. I'm looking forward to that happening. And 10 years seems like too far off. I hope they start in the Northeast.
Well, we can always hope that they accelerate that. That would be in our best interest for sure. But I think some of the utilities are ahead of the game, and like in any industry, it takes a while to get the momentum going. But I think that we're on the right track.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being on the program, and it was great to learn about what you guys are up to.
Great. Thanks, Rich.